the CEO, Alexander Ford, had a fever and asked me, Violet Rivers, to deliver antipyretics to his home. On the way, I texted my best friend, Emma Zhao, I really want to feel his 99.5 Fahrenheit body heat. I'd take a promotion and raise just to sleep with him once. Freezing out here. Want to give him physical cooling treatment, ice and fire merging. Unfortunately, I accidentally sent these to Alexander. The moment I entered, he pulled me into his arms. His fever bright eyes burned. Weren't you going to cool me down? Feigning composure. I said, Mr. Ford, please control yourself. Alexander Ford pressed my hand against his scorching cheek. His voice husky with temptation, I'm at 99.5 Fahrenheit now. Didn't you say you wanted to feel 99.5 me? Horrified, I realized the texts meant for Emma had gone to Alexander instead. When I stayed silent, he continued, want that promotion and raise? My head bobbed like a woodpecker's, yes. Watching his gaze darken, I suddenly recognized the trap. Among those misdirected texts was, if sleeping with him once gets me promoted, I'll do it. Was he implying? Shaking my head vehemently, I protested, and no. Not that I didn't want to, but dared not. He was my boss. What if he discarded me afterward? Men were plentiful, but high-paying jobs weren't. Between lust and career, I knew my priorities. Alexander's burning fingers traced my collarbone. What about the ice and fire fusion? My entire face flushed crimson as inappropriate images flooded my mind, all thanks to his CEO novel perfect looks and physique that haunted my daydreams. Though I'd been all talk in texts with Emma, my professional facade around Alexander remained impeccable. This weekend interruption started when he'd feverishly requested medicine delivery. Waving the antipyretics, I stammered, Mr. Ford, your medication's here. If there's nothing else. I needed to escape before succumbing. Fevered glazed eyes clearing slightly. Alex detained me, take my temperature again. Violet. Fetch some water. I complied obediently, weekend overtime meant triple pay anyway. Returning with water, I found him holding a Patek Philippe box. Open it, he said casually. My eyes widened at the luxury watch inside. This is too much. Just delivering medicine doesn't warrant. He clasped the timepiece around my wrist. His scorching breath at my ear, consider it, hazard pay for tonight's overtime. The double entendre hung between us as his feverish body caged me against the sofa. He helped fasten the clasp while saying, Violet Rivers, you've been an exceptional secretary these 3 years. Consider this a reward for your dedication. Though honestly, this reward seemed excessively lavish. I was so touched. The company benefits were truly amazing. I should work for Alex forever. I smiled. Thank you, Alex. Alex checked his thermometer and handed it to me. Miss Rivers, what's the reading? Holy cow. His fever had spiked to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I immediately passed him the water and ibuprofen. Mr. Ford, you need medication. After swallowing the pills, Alex reclined on the sofa. I'll rest my eyes. Feel free to browse my study if you're bored. Sure. I hesitated to leave, having just received a $150,000 watch. Abandoning my sick boss felt heartless. Better wait half an hour to check his temperature again. Entering his study, I intended to grab a book. Instead, my gaze locked onto a framed photo from last year's charity gala. The candid shot showed us standing shoulder to shoulder, looking less like employer-employee and more like lovers. Why would Alex display this prominently? Had he orchestrated this discovery? A system voice chimed in my mind, obviously he's been crushing on you. My heart leapt. Mutual pining? This changed everything. The system doused my excitement, though reciprocated. You're destined to become the discarded first love in this story. After multiple failed hints, Alex buries his feelings. When your mother pressures you into marriage, you'll impulsively wed your college senior Owen Gu. Alex, consumed by bitterness, fires you. He later marries Luna Song, a heiress resembling you, for convenience, eventually falling deeply in love. Meanwhile, you'll discover Owen's been having an affair with his male lover, trapped in a sham marriage for 5 years. The epilogue finds you divorced, flipping fried rice at night markets while Alex and Luna drive past in their Maybach. Silence. Night market hustling versus Maybach luxury? No contest. Resolved. I returned to watch Alex sleep. During my 3-year tenure, the signs had been there, lingering glances. Unnecessary overtime together. That time he'd canceled a meeting because I had the sniffles. The digital clock blinked 7:03 p.m. I gently shook his shoulder. Alex? Let's get you to bed. His eyelids fluttered open, dark pupils swimming with fever and something warmer. My pulse quickened as his fingers brushed mine during the assisted walk to the bedroom. The system wasn't wrong about one thing: this romance needed accelerating before Luna's scheduled entrance next fiscal quarter. On a rainy day, he offered me a ride home. When we reached my apartment building, he asked expectantly, "Aren't you going to invite me up?" I thought he was just making small talk and didn't actually want to come inside. I casually declined. "It's late, Alex. Let's not." Another time, he handed me 2 theater tickets. "Are you free this weekend, Violet?" he asked, assuming it was company perks. I accepted them gratefully. "Thanks, Alex. My best friend and I will go." During a business dinner, he drank too much. As I helped him to the presidential suite, he pinned me against the door, eyes smoldering. "Violet," he murmured, "do you want to be in a relationship?" Thinking he was testing my dedication to work, I immediately answered, "Not at all, Alex. My career comes first." He often gave me gifts I mistook for employee benefits, immediately reselling them online. When breakfast shop owners greeted us with "bringing your girlfriend again?" he'd simply nod. I assumed he couldn't be bothered to correct them. Now I realize he wanted to visit my apartment to get closer. Those theater tickets were meant for our date. His relationship question wasn't about work loyalty. Every gift was personally chosen. That breakfast nod wasn't indifference, but quiet confirmation. In his feverish sleep, Alex clutched me tighter. "Violet, stay." The system whispered, "He's dreaming about you." Cold exterior, but he's ravished you countless times in his dreams. My cheeks burned as I checked his forehead. Still scorching. The medicine hadn't kicked in yet. I longed to press against him, cool his fever with my body, become his living ice pack. "Get a grip," I scolded myself. Suddenly his arms encircled my waist, pulling me into his blazing embrace. Still asleep, still craving me in dreams, my lips hovered dangerously close to his Adam's apple. "Alex," I whispered, getting no response. I reached to unbutton his shirt for temperature check. At the 3rd button, my breath caught. With this physique, if I were his girlfriend, the system urged, "Want to see those abs?" 3 more buttons. "Take back the protagonists Aura Luna stole from you." The concept of 6-pack abs only exists in my saved videos. I've never seen real ones. But sneaking a peek at someone's abs while they're asleep, isn't that just perverted? System, he's asleep anyway. Just take a quick look. Besides, I guarantee he'd love you checking him out. Drunk on hormones, I succumbed to temptation. One glance couldn't hurt, right? Mustering courage, I unbuttoned the 4th button of Alexander Ford's shirt. By the 6th, his sculpted chest and abs lay fully exposed. Holy smokes, this was next-level perfection. My pulse skyrocketed. System alert, protagonist aura +1. Every point you gain reduces Luna Song's protagonist aura. Poke his abs once for +2 points. The reward proved irresistible. I pressed a finger against Alex's defined abdomen. Heavenly texture. One poke wasn't enough, I kept prodding. System alerts chimed, protagonist aura +2 +2 +2, it kept stacking? Eager for more. I went trigger happy with the poking. Continuous notifications, protagonist aura +2 +2 +2 +2 +2 +2 +2, when my tally hit 21. A large hand trapped my wandering fingers. Alex awoke, catching me red-handed. His hooded gaze swept over his unbuttoned shirt as he smirked. Enjoying yourself? Flustered, I scrambled to fasten his buttons. Cheeks burning. Mr. Ford. I was just checking your temperature. He sat up against the sofa, amusement dancing in his eyes. Temperature checks require fully unbuttoning my shirt. And all that poking, care to explain? Trapped. I bit my lip. I'm sorry, don't apologize. Take responsibility instead. Alex guided my hand back to his abs, transforming into a seductive incubus. Be my girlfriend. And you can touch whenever you want. Anytime. Anywhere. I'll unbutton for you. Oh God. This was unfair temptation. As I nearly surrendered, the doorbell rang. Alex owns 2 properties, a suburban villa and this 5,000 square foot penthouse near headquarters. Swallowing my response, I offered, should I get that? He nodded, rebut-toning his shirt. Through the foyer and entry garden, I opened the door to find Eleanor, Alex's mother. Her smile froze upon seeing me. Miss Rivers. She scrutinized me with icy superiority. Why are you here on a weekend? I shriveled under her gaze. Mrs. Yates. I came to bring Mr. Ford, before fever medication escaped my lips. She cut in coldly, Mrs. Yates? You'll address me as Mrs. Ford. I lowered my gaze, my confidence crumbling instantly. Yes. Mrs. Ford. I came to deliver fever medication for Mr. Ford. Eleanor's eyes lingered on the Patek Philippe on my wrist, her gaze deepening. I need to speak with Alex. Since the medication's here, you may leave now. The Ford mansion's grandeur meant voices at the entrance rarely carried. I should say goodbye to Mr. Ford. That won't be necessary. She stepped inside with practiced elegance. Close the door on your way out. The metallic click of the lock echoed my humiliation. As the elevator arrived, hurried footsteps interrupted. Alex emerged, adjusting his collar's second to last button. His voice hushed. Vivi. Ignore mother's implications. Though Eleanor hadn't spoken explicitly, her frosty demeanor screamed disapproval. You should get back. I mumbled, avoiding his gaze. She'll misunderstand. His hand brushed mine. Don't overthink this. I'll call you tonight. The elevator doors closed on his reassurance. The system's notification pulsed, Eleanor resents you. Her husband's secretary nearly destroyed their marriage years ago. As a socialite, she'll only accept a blue-blooded bride like Luna. My stomach churned. How naive I'd been, thinking love alone could conquer Ford family standards. At home, I locked away Alex's gift watch with trembling fingers. His call came promptly. Home safe? About being my girlfriend. His voice softened. Have you decided? Had Eleanor not intervened, I'd have said yes. Now, the words burned my tongue. We're unsuited. Silence. Then firm resolve, suitability's irrelevant when I choose you. Violet. But your mother. Meet me tomorrow. La Pearl. 7 p.m. We'll discuss this properly. Dinner with Emma brought unexpected developments. She nudged me discreetly at the French bistro. That's Luna, old money and perfect Ford wife material. The system chimed, 21% protagonist aura triggered this early encounter. I studied Luna's chiseled profile and Balmain blazer. Our reflections in the gilt mirror showed polar opposites, her regal poise versus my off-the-rack dress. Yet when she turned, the familiar tilt of her chin mirrored mine uncannily. I specifically asked Emma, do you think Luna and I look alike? Emma studied me seriously before shaking her head. Not at all. You're much prettier. That puzzled me. If we didn't resemble each other, why had the system previously revealed that Luna bore 60% similarity to me? The system explained, you're seeing Luna before her plastic surgery. After discovering Alex's feelings for you, she'll use your appearance as her surgical blueprint. Unfortunately, the results will only achieve 60% resemblance. Oh. The system hesitated, actually. I waited for it to continue. But it abruptly changed course. There's another secret. But it's not time to reveal it yet. Typical system. Always leaving cliffhangers. After dinner, I went to pay the bill and encountered Luna at the register. She smiled cryptically at me. You're Alex's secretary, aren't you? Mrs. Yates mentioned you. I was surprised she already knew me. Her deliberate emphasis on Mrs. Yates suggested closeness with Eleanor, maintaining polite detachment. I asked, and you are? Luna. Our families are considering an alliance through marriage. Her words carried subtle warning. I nodded without further comment. Monday morning found me buying coffee near Ford Corporation. Eleanor beckoned from a window seat. Miss Rivers, join me. Sitting across from her, I watched her pleasantries vanish. Regardless of your current relationship with my son, understand this, the Ford family isn't for social climbers. Cease your ambitions immediately. Clenching my hidden fist, I calmly replied, Mrs. Ford, you misunderstand. Mr. Ford and I maintain a strictly professional relationship. See that you keep it that way, she said imperiously. Remember, I can replace you anytime. I'll remain mindful of my position. I acquiesced. Satisfied. Eleanor rose. Smart girl. Focus on secretarial work while I handle Alex's marital prospects. After her departure, I slumped weakly. The system complained, lame. She didn't even offer money to leave him alone. I smiled bitterly. Apparently, I wasn't worth bribing, job security alone sufficed as leverage. For 5 workdays, I maintained professional distance from Alex, even altering my jogging route to avoid him. The system nagged, you're blowing this. Eleanor manipulates you. So you withdraw? Reverse psychology. More physical contact increases protagonist charm. Stronger aura alters fate. No. After Eleanor's warning, I refused to cling to her son. Though if he pursued me, that'd be different. Come Saturday, my father called. Vivi, your mother's condition flared up. Can you come home? I'll catch the earliest flight. I answered anxiously. I immediately booked a flight back to Anchorage City. Still, I had to return. I needed to understand why my parents were so desperate to marry me off. As their only child, they'd always doted on me, though they'd mentioned wanting me to find someone these past 2 years. Faking illness crossed a line. There had to be more to this story, maybe that secret the system mentioned earlier. They said the timing wasn't right to tell me. Well, I'd uncover it myself. While packing, my phone rang. Alex's voice came through, Vivi. I'm outside your building. What's your apartment number? Let me come up. After a beat, I answered. 606. Come on up. This marked Alex's first visit to my place. I went to fetch water from the fridge. He followed me into the kitchen, gaze intense. Why have you been avoiding me? Did my mother say something? Truth was, I'd anticipated Eleanor waiting at that cafe. That's why I'd secretly recorded our entire conversation. Now I wrestled with whether to play it for him. Exposing his mother's scheming felt too risky. I stayed silent. Alex pulled me into an embrace, voice cracking. "Violet, please don't shut me out like this. Mr. Ford." I faltered. Suddenly his lips captured mine, tentative at first, then hungrier when I didn't resist. My logical mind screamed to push him away, but my hands against his chest refused to comply. Abandoning reason, I wound my arms around his neck and kissed back. His responding groan vibrated through me as he deepened the kiss. 10 minutes later, he nuzzled my hair, breath ragged. "Vivi, just tell me you want this. I'll handle every obstacle." I nodded, done pretending. I wanted him even if it ended badly. I needed to try. Alex's triumphant kiss carried us to the couch for another 10 minutes until the system chimed, +5. Daily limit reached. You can stop now. But we couldn't stop. Even without the protagonist aura. It didn't matter. Kissing someone I'd secretly loved for so long felt too perfect. I wanted to prolong this magic. After 30 breathless minutes, my alarm shattered the moment. I needed to pack immediately for my flight. Alexander Ford reluctantly released me. "I'm heading to the airport too. Let's go together." He'd been suddenly assigned an overseas business trip. Normally I'd accompany him, but this time I couldn't. At security check, he hugged me tightly. "Wait for me. Always." I whispered. Through the security check glass, I watched his retreating figure until the system's alert pierced my thoughts. Eleanor Yates orchestrated this trip. Luna Song purchased the seat beside Alexander. Their early encounter will shift the plot. Your protagonist aura, 41%. Luna's, 59%. When she moves, the world conspires to help her. Next phase, main lead's reunion while you meet the second male lead. The turning point approaches. Back in Anqing, I rushed to my mother's hospital room. That evening, she broached the inevitable, "Violet, you're not getting younger. When will you settle down?" Without the system's warning, I might have agreed to her matchmaking. Now, I countered gently, "Mom, I'm focusing on my career at 25. Besides," I took a breath, "I'm seeing someone." Her foreline quivered with excitement. "Who? Show me pictures. When it's serious, I'll bring him home. Break up with him." Her sudden vehemence startled me. "Marry Owen Gu instead, your college classmate. He's visited twice this week." I froze. "Owen? We barely spoke at Stanford. He showed us photos." Mom's voice dropped. "Of you with some middle-aged man in a Maybach, license plate ending 888. Said you're someone's mistress." The pieces clicked. Owen had snapped pictures of me with Alexander's driver. I gripped her hand. "That's Mr. Lee. Alex's chauffeur. My boyfriend's young, single, and definitely not married." Relief flooded her features. "Thank heavens! But why would Owen?" "Exactly." My laugh held no humor. Why would a stranger slander me then propose marriage? The answer loomed like storm clouds. Someone had scripted this drama, and I'd just rewritten my lines. "I'm Violet Rivers, Alexander Ford's secretary. Due to work requirements, I often come and go with him, so naturally I frequently ride in his car." It seems someone took photos of Uncle Lee opening the car door for me and inviting me into the vehicle, which Owen then showed to my parents to spread rumors. The person behind these rumors must be either Eleanor or Luna. I pulled up Alex's photo to show Mom. "This is my boyfriend, Mom. He's 28 and also my boss. The man you mentioned is just his driver, Uncle Lee." Mom looked thoroughly pleased examining Alex's photo, though concern flickered across her face. "Does his family know about this?" I understood she worried the Ford family might disapprove of our relationship. Not yet. We're still early in our relationship. Nowhere near marriage discussions. We'll cross that bridge later. I changed the subject. Next time something comes up, talk to me first instead of letting opportunists manipulate you. Mom exhaled in relief. All right. I just worry about you facing big city temptations. We must never compromise our morals. I nodded. After Mom recovered from her anxiety episode, she got discharged the next day. While taking out the trash, I got a warning. Eleanor plans to make Alex and Luna sleep together. Normally impossible, but with Luna's high protagonist aura and Eleanor's help, their success rate skyrockets. Distracted by this revelation, I missed the last 3 stairs. My palm landed on broken glass, drawing blood. Calmly, I snapped a photo and posted, "Can't even walk downstairs without mishaps." Desperate times called for desperate measures. I'll admit I wanted Alex to see this. With Eleanor scheming to entrap him overseas, my only hope was luring him back. Within a minute, my phone rang. Alex asked for my address before abruptly saying, "Wait for me." That night at 11, restlessly tossing in bed, I heard the doorbell. There stood Alex, travel-worn but determined. I flew into his arms, heart swelling. "It's just a scratch. Shouldn't you be working?" He held me tighter. After arriving abroad, I realized nothing there mattered. His voice trailed off. "Never mind. Let me see your hand." The bandaged palm didn't deter him. My parents emerged in robes. "Vivi, who's here so late?" They found Alex holding my hand. When I tried pulling away, he maintained his grip. "Mr. and Mrs. Rivers. I'm Violet's boyfriend, Alexander Ford." My parents exchanged glances, ushering him inside. Mom fetched water while Dad made small talk. "Vivi said you were abroad. Alex, what brings you back?" "Accepting the water," Alex answered. I couldn't rest knowing Violet was hurt. My parents nodded approvingly. Presumably, they could tell from this detail that Alexander Ford was serious about me. That night, Alex stayed in the guest room of my house. I pressed the system, "How can I boost my protagonist aura tonight?" The system replied, "A bed pinning scene increases protagonist aura by 5 points. For more, you know what to do." Did they mean taking things all the way? That seemed too fast. Plus, our house has thin walls. My parents are pretty conservative too. If they heard anything, it'd be mortifying. Forget it, I'll secure those 5 points first. We'll see about the rest later. Hearing the bathroom door open, I guessed Alex had finished showering. The moment he entered the guest room, I followed and locked the door behind us. He turned and gripped my waist like a predator examining trapped prey. When he leaned in to kiss me, I whispered by his ear, "The walls are thin. Let's move to the bed." His eyes darkened as he carried me to the mattress. A lingering kiss descended. 5 minutes later, the system announced, "Protagonist aura +5, keep going for higher rewards." After 10 more minutes of kissing yielded no additional points. I calculated the numbers, my 46% versus Luna's 54%. Her lead remained dangerous. Better eliminate uncertainties completely. Alex released me, lying beside me to calm his racing pulse. He turned with smoldering eyes. Voice rough, "Be good. Go back to your room." He clearly feared what might happen if I stayed longer. I climbed atop him, studying his handsome features. What if I don't want to leave? The fire in his gaze intensified. Don't test my self-control. But testing him was exactly my plan tonight. I'd craved this too long. Kissing his Adam's apple. I murmured, "Alex, I need more." He flipped us over but still hesitated. "Your parents' first impression." I smiled. "I'm 25. Just keep quiet. He finally snapped, pulling the blanket over our heads. Remarkably controlled himself, barely making sound. Meanwhile, I nearly bit through my lip trying to stay silent. He kissed my mouth tenderly. Don't hurt yourself. Bite me instead. Thunder cracked as rain suddenly pounded the windows. My mother got up to close them, hearing footsteps in the hallway. I froze. Alex strained above me, sweat dripping down his neck, eyes blazing with barely restrained fire. After finally waiting for my mom to close the balcony window, she went next door and knocked on my door. Violet, are you asleep? It's raining, don't forget to close your windows. I bit my lip and stayed silent, thinking I'd fallen asleep. She returned to her room without another word. The storm intensified. Unlatched windows in the guest room creaked under the gale's assault. White curtains fluttered wildly as rain soaked the blooming roses on the balcony. System alert, protagonist aura increased by 10%. Congratulations, your lead over Luna has widened. Current levels, you 56% versus Luna 44%, higher aura enhances favorability with male leads inner circle. Interesting. If I reach 100%, would Eleanor finally stop opposing my relationship with Alex? System, affirmative. Keep striving. Rain battered the house all night. 2 more alerts chimed frowny face plus 10% protagonist aura, additional plus 10%. By dawn, my 76% aura crushed Luna's pathetic 24%. Exhausted, I collapsed until 6 a.m. Struggling up, I told Alex, I'm returning to my room before Mom wakes us for breakfast at 8. Alex kissed my forehead, thoroughly satisfied. I crept from the guest room only to collide with my mother en route to the bathroom. Our eyes locked. Crimson-faced, I stammered. I was closing his windows. Go back to sleep, she said impassively. I fled to my room and texted Alex, disaster. Mom caught us. Mortifying. 2 minutes passed without reply. Checking my phone, I froze. The message had gone to Mom instead. The recall option glared mockingly gray. System chuckled, still sending texts to wrong recipients. I see. Desperate. I followed up, wrong chat. Seriously, just closing windows. Mom replied, Violet. Your father and I aren't antiquated. You're an adult, use discretion. Relieved, I exhaled. Alex's message arrived, get some rest. Sweetheart. I sent a kissing emoji and drifted off. Mom miraculously skipped morning wake-up calls. At 11 a.m., I emerged to find Alex casually conversing with my parents on the sofa. They excused themselves to cook lunch as I greeted them, Alex having charmed them through 3 cups of coffee already. I went to freshen up, and Alexander Ford followed me into the bathroom, wrapping his arms around me from behind. I've spoken to your parents. I'm serious about you and will marry you, he murmured. Worry creased my brow. But your mother doesn't approve, leave mother to me, Alex promised, his breath warm against my ear. You needn't worry. I nodded. All right. True to his word, Alex gifted my parents a new car and purchased a cozy villa for them in Anqing. After 3 days in my hometown, we returned to the capital. By then, my protagonist's aura had reached full potency while Luna songs had completely dissipated. Eleanor Yates reacted more calmly than anticipated upon learning about our relationship. Sipping tea in her sunlit conservatory, she remarked, Alex is 28 and finally showing interest in women. Let him enjoy this, as long as it doesn't lead to marriage. With forced nonchalance, she added, at least we know he prefers women. The potent protagonist's aura seemed to soften Eleanor's stance, though full acceptance remained elusive. Meanwhile, Luna Song manipulated Owen Gu into spreading vicious rumors at my parents' workplaces, claims about me being a wealthy man's mistress, alleging the villa and car were gifts from my imaginary sugar daddy. Even an innocent photo of Uncle Lee holding a car door for me went viral across Oncheng. This particularly distressed my mother, a school teacher, and father, an education bureau official. Alex retaliated strategically. Private investigators captured compromising photos of Owen kissing his boyfriend at a nightclub, which were promptly leaked to Owen's parents' workplaces. The ensuing family drama kept Owen occupied. During the Ford Group's Oncheng branch inauguration, Alex deliberately arrived with me. Paparazzi captured Uncle Lee opening our car door and Alex clasping my hand. When reporters asked, "Mr. Ford, is this your girlfriend?" he pulled me closer. Yes. The subsequent business coverage effectively silenced the rumors. Desperate Luna underwent extensive plastic surgery against medical advice, attempting to replicate my features. The botched procedure left her disfigured. During their tense meeting, Eleanor demanded, "Remove your sunglasses and mask." Reluctantly, Luna revealed her distorted features. Eleanor's teacup clattered against its saucer. "You've become unsettling to look at. The Ford family cannot accept this." 3 months later, Eleanor called Alex's assistant. "Has Mr. Ford ended things with Miss Rivers?" "They're living together now. Quite happily," came the reply. "Another 3 months. Any updates on their relationship status?" "Mr. Ford proposed last week. Didn't you receive the news?" 3 months thereafter, "How are things progressing?" "Miss Rivers is considering terminating her pregnancy due to career concerns. Mr. Ford is trying to persuade her otherwise." This finally compelled Eleanor to meet me at a cafe. Before she could speak, I offered, "Mrs. Yates, I've scheduled the procedure. You needn't worry." The matriarch's usual frostiness thawed. "Call me Eleanor, dear. Or mother, if you prefer. The baby should stay. At 2 months, you can still marry discreetly before showing." Surprise flickered across my face. "You approve now?" Eleanor sighed, stirring her Earl Grey. "I'll admit your background concerned me initially. But Alex has flourished this past year, happier, more successful. You complement him well professionally and personally. Perhaps." She met my gaze. "Perhaps family connections aren't everything. Besides, Alex said he won't marry anyone but you. If I keep being stubborn, this family will fall apart. There's no need for that." She finished speaking and placed a family heirloom jade bracelet on my wrist. "I'd like to invite your parents to dinner and finalize your engagement." Since she had convinced herself to accept me, I wasn't about to make things harder by opposing her. I nodded. "Okay." Alex and I held our wedding, and married life was blissful. I gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. As the children grew day by day, Alex and I grew more devoted to each other. 3 years later, on the winter solstice, heavy snow began to fall. Eleanor took her grandchildren to build snowmen in the garden. By evening, Alex developed a fever. His body burned as he whispered coaxingly, "Baby, I'm at 103 degrees. Help me cool down, okay?" A cold wind blew through the window, making me shiver. It was freezing. I wanted to huddle by the fire, to seek warmth, to feel the collision of ice and flame. I got up to close the window and draw the curtains. Then, slowly undoing each button of his shirt, I smirked. "Sure. Let's cool you down." Outside, the snowstorm intensified, but the room grew warmer. The fireplace roared, and Alex and I found ourselves in the most vibrant spring scenery imaginable. Thank you all for the company. Your support fuels my passion for sharing these sweet romance stories. See you next time.